kind of doesn't always matter where we are. We have these experiences regardless.
Right.
And so I think that humanity is what you're gonna...
Oh, you're not going to believe this one. So, Alicia Keys just found herself in the middle of one of the juiciest scandals to hit Hollywood. Apparently, her hubby Swizz Beatz got all tangled up with none other than Lala Anthony. Yes, you heard that correctly. The ex-wife of Carmelo Anthony, the same Lala who makes heads turn every time she steps into a room. As soon as the word got out about this shocking pair, oh honey, the internet practically exploded. Proof. Oh honey, the internet didn't even take a breath before jumping to conclusions. People were armed with pitchforks, ready to fire off hashtags like it was the end of days. But hold on, before we crown this as the scandal of the century, let's slow down a second. You know how it goes in Hollywood gossip. There's always the allegedly happening, and then there's what's actually on record. Let's get the facts straight before we start the fireworks. Alright, let's pull out the receipts. Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz tied the knot back in 2010. They've got 2 gorgeous kids and have been serving those perfect red carpet smiles like a couple straight out of a fairy tale. Meanwhile, Lala Anthony also married Carmelo Anthony in 2010, but we all know how that one unfolded. After years of Melo's courtside adventures, if you catch my drift, she finally pulled the plug and filed for divorce. The plot thickens, huh? In 2021, after Lala and Swizz's names started popping up together again, people couldn't help but connect the dots a little too quickly. And let's not forget, back in 2021, radio host Miss Jones was already spilling tea, claiming she got a DM straight from Swizz Beatz's camp saying he was messing around with Lala. Of course, Swizz denied it, classic move. Alicia? She stayed silent, as usual. But the internet being the internet, just let it slide until something juicier came along to stir the pot. And now here we are, the pot's officially boiling over. That's the beauty of gossip, darling. A tiny spark back then, and now we've got a full-blown wildfire. The thing is, people don't even wait for confirmation anymore. The very thought of Lala, someone so close in the same social circle, being tied to Alicia's husband, is enough to send Twitter into full overtime, working like it's their 9 to 5.
Wish is to have a partner in the scene that is cool and patient and understanding.
And just to remind y'all, this isn't exactly fresh tea. The whispers about Swizz Beatz being a little too friendly have been circling for over a decade. Back in 2013, folks swore he was out here entertaining at industry parties. Nothing really stuck, but trust me, the streets never forget. Then, fast forward to 2016, and we all remember the mess with Carmelo Anthony. And then, boom, Carmelo Anthony's drama exploded. He was accused of fathering a child outside his marriage, and that hit Lala like a ton of bricks. Next thing you know, she's out here stepping solo, looking fabulous, glowing, and clearly reclaiming her independence. But y'all know how these men in the spotlight move. When a woman is vulnerable, here come the friends ready to swoop in, trying to play the knight in shining armor, right? By 2017 and 2018, the paparazzi started snapping pics of Lala showing up at the same events as Alicia and Swizz. Nothing too crazy, just some group settings, fashion weeks, art shows, and celebrity dinners. But you know how the internet works. They'll take a blurry photo, zoom in like it's a CSI investigation, and suddenly, a harmless lean over to grab a drink looks like a full-blown conspiracy. And just like that, a simple drink turns into a full-blown thesis paper on adultery. Then came 2021, and that's when Miss Jones decided to light the match. She swore she had a source from Swizz Beatz's camp with concrete proof he was creeping with Lala. The blogs went wild. Social media was on fire. But of course, both Alicia and Swizz stayed mum, playing the silent game like they didn't have a care in the world. Swizz laughed it off like it was nothing. Lala didn't even bat an eye. And Alicia? She played her go-to move, silence. And let's be real, sometimes silence speaks volumes. Fast forward to 2025, and guess what? The whispers are back, louder, messier, and juicier than ever. Now, folks are saying Alicia herself caught Swizz and Lala this time. No photos, no text leaks, just the word on the street. But we all know how gossip works, right? If it fits the pattern, who needs proof? They'll construct the whole scandal off vibes alone. And let's be real, this story practically writes itself. Lala is single after all. Swizz has a history. Alicia keeps her cool in public. And just like that, you've got the perfect recipe for a tabloid firestorm. It doesn't even matter if Lala is sitting at home, minding her own business. The gossip gods will still drag her name through the mud because, let's face it, she checks every box. She's gorgeous, and that alone makes her a target. She's always been front and center in the spotlight, and her messy history with Mello left scars that the public just can't forget. Remember back in 2017 when Carmelo got caught up in that love child scandal? The internet hasn't let that one go. And every time Lala walks into a room, you can feel the whispers. People can't help but wonder if she's finally getting her lick back. That's the twisted logic of gossip, honey. Once you're labeled, you can never shake it off. Throw in her career moves, red carpets, acting gigs, and brand deals. Lala stays visible, and visibility means staying on the radar. Cameras flash, blogs write their stories, and boom, one innocent photo gets twisted into a full-blown affair narrative. And baby, the fact that, well, you know the rest. She's single now, and in the world of gossip math, single plus beautiful plus famous equals, she's messing with someone's husband. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. All that matters is that the story fits. And Lala, unfortunately, is the perfect puzzle piece to make it all come together.
You know, I can't lean on what I did before. I gotta put my feet in the paint today.
Now let's really dig into Swizz because, baby, this man's name stays floating around the rumor mill like it's got a permanent residence there. And trust me, it didn't just start yesterday. Remember how his and Alicia's love story kicked off? Messy from the jump. Allegedly, Swizz was still legally married to his first wife, Ma Honda, when he started cozying up to Alicia. Oh yes, Ma Honda even aired him out with that infamous open letter in 2009, calling Alicia a homewrecker. Whew, chilly, that was a storm. So, from day one, people were side-eyeing this marriage. Swizz Beatz has always been that flashy, charismatic guy, art collector, jet-setter, you name it. Big spender, the life of the party, Swizz thrives on the spotlight. Fancy cars, lavish gifts, extravagant events, you name it. He's all about that high-life energy. And when your brand screams ladies' man, honey, temptation is always lurking in the room. Plus, he's got a track record. Public fights with exes over child support, whispers of side flings, even after marrying Alicia. The receipts might be a little blurry, but that reputation? It's stuck like glue. So, when you hear that Swizz might have cheated, no one even blinks. It just sounds believable. Now throw in Lala's situation, single, stunning, trying to move on, and boom, it's like the streets already wrote the narrative. But let's not forget Alicia Keys herself. From the jump, she's been playing chess with her image. She's not the type to hop on Instagram Live and start clapping back, or tweet cryptic rants like she's got something to prove. When Ma Honda blasted her back in the day, Alicia stayed quiet. She smiled through interviews, dropped her music, and let time do its thing. That silence? It turned her into this classy, soulful queen, the barefoot goddess at the piano, untouched by any of the drama. And now, with the Swizz and Lala rumors circling, Alicia is doing the same thing, staying silent. And trust, that's no accident. That's pure strategy. Because here's the thing, Alicia knows that the second she opens her mouth, the blogs will devour every single syllable. By staying silent, she keeps her image pristine. But here's the twist, silence cuts both ways. Fans start side-eyeing. Why isn't she defending her marriage? Why so quiet? Maybe it's true. And that's the risk. Silence can be powerful, but it can also fuel the fire. Alicia could either come off as the strong queen rising above the drama, or as a wife quietly suffering in the shadows. Either way, she's part of the story, even when she's not saying a word. Now, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture, baby. Because in Hollywood, gossip isn't just gossip, it's currency. Those Swizz and Lala whispers? They're not just tea, they're weapons. Rumors can distract, discredit, or completely derail careers. Think about it. Offset and Cardi B's drama always seems to blow up just before major projects drop. Coincidence? Please. It's the same playbook here. Swizz is deep in the art world, rubbing elbows with billionaires. Alicia is still selling out tours worldwide. Lala is making big moves in Hollywood, acting, producing, brand building. All this noise? It's no accident. But one ugly rumor? That's enough to make sponsors nervous, have directors second-guess their casting choices, or make brands quietly start backing away. That's why gossip is chess, not checkers. Somebody, somewhere is always benefiting from stirring the pot. And let's not forget, Lala has been hustling hard since her MTV VJ days. She's written books, launched a beauty line, snagged acting roles, earned producing credits, you name it. But here's the catch. No matter how much she builds, the streets always pull her back into some man's mess. Every time Mello trends, Whether it's for his NBA legacy or his scandals, Lala's name gets dragged into it. People never separate her grind from her relationships. So when the Swizz rumor hit, people immediately flipped the narrative. Oh, she leveled up from mellow to Swizz. If it's true, she's painted as a social climber. If it's false, people still side-eye her glow-up, wondering if it's all sponsored. Either way, her success keeps getting overshadowed by men's names. Mello gets celebrated as a Hall of Famer while she gets labeled messy. That's the double-edged sword Lala's been carrying for years. And speaking of double standards, let's address the elephant in the room. When Swizz's name comes up in cheating rumors, folks laugh it off like, well, you know how Swizz is. But when Lala's name is in the same sentence, suddenly she's labeled thirsty, desperate, or suddenly she can't keep a man. The hypocrisy is wild, right? Look at history. When Beyoncé took Jay-Z back after his cheating scandal, people questioned her worth, not his behavior. When Jennifer Lopez moved from one relationship to another, she got labeled desperate. Meanwhile, men like Future can have a child with every zodiac sign and still get crowned toxic king. That's how the script always plays out. Women get dragged, men get excuses. Lala stayed loyal to Mello for years, stood by him through public humiliation. But the second she's spotted smiling a little too close to a man suddenly. Worse, rumored to be involved with Swizz, and she's crucified. That's the Hollywood script, baby. Women are either angelic wives who suffer in silence or villains who break up homes. There's no in-between. And guess what? The blogs profit from keeping them in those boxes. Let's be real, nobody's clicking on headlines about 3 successful people living drama-free lives. No, they want Alicia as the graceful queen, Lala as the messy villain, and Swizz as the reckless ladies' man. That narrative? That sells. Peace doesn't. And the real tragedy? The kids get caught in the crossfire. Nobody likes to admit it, but these rumors don't just stain careers, they stain childhoods. Lala and Mello's son, Kian, is a teenager now, balling out and making a name for himself on the court. But instead of just being celebrated as Kian the athlete, he has to live with whispers like, ain't your dad the one with side babies? Or didn't your mom get caught up with Swizz? That's a heavy load for a kid to carry. The same goes for Alicia and Swizz's little ones. They're too young to even know how to spell the word scandal, but the internet is already dragging their daddy's name through the mud. Imagine growing up and Googling your parents only to find endless rumor threads. That's generational baggage no child ever asked for. And yet, this story isn't going anywhere. Why? Because it's got all the ingredients that blogs and fans crave. Power couples, drama-filled timelines, scandalous whispers, angel versus villain narratives. It's like a Tyler Perry rom-com wrapped in tabloid packaging. Even if tomorrow Alicia, Swizz, and Lala held a press conference swearing it's all lies, people wouldn't buy it. The narrative's already locked in. Some will see Lala as leveling up. Some will see Swizz as messy. Some will see Alicia as too quiet to be happy. Everyone's got their version of the story and no one's. Never escape it. And let's not ignore the culture here. Black love triangles never get a break. Think back to the drama with Diddy, Cassie, and Kim Porter, or Khloe Kardashian, Tristan Thompson, and Jordan Woods. Once the internet sinks its teeth into a storyline like this, it turns into its own soap opera. Lala can be the star of her own empire, but the narrative will always drag her back into the mess. Lala could land 10 more acting gigs. Alicia could drop another Grammy-winning album. Swizz could produce the next big hit. But let a single blurry rumor hit the blogs, and it'll outshine everything they built. That's the harsh reality of this industry. Because at the end of the day, it's not even about truth anymore. It's all about the entertainment value of imagining powerful people living messy, drama-filled lives. Whether it's smoke or fire, it doesn't even matter. What matters are the clicks, the shares, the whispers in group chats. And that's exactly why Alicia, Swizz, Lala, and Mello are stuck in this never-ending storyline. The internet doesn't want to close the chapter. And honestly, that's what keeps the gossip industry alive, feeding off the chaos and keeping the story going, whether it's real or not.